Game of the Year winner is Elden Ring!
I'm giving it a 95%.
Elden Ring is one of the greatest video games I have ever played.
What a fucking game, bro!
What a good game!
Wow, what a game. Best game.
This game is a masterpiece.
I think it's about time I play this game. I quickly made my way into the tutorial, naive to the absolute monster I was about to take on in battle. I was facing none other than Rick, Soldier of God. He almost got the best of me, but luckily I was able to take him down on the first try. Is what I would say if I was a liar. This guy took me thousands of attempts. The video files were just corrupted. Only Let Me Solo Her could pull off a feat like that. After the tutorial, I talked to a man in a white mask who told me to get some bitches. I immediately tried fighting the tree sentinel in an attempt to impress the host. I lost all my aura. This boss was clearly out of my skill set as of now, so I left. I sat at the site of grace and some lady appeared talking about fingering maidens, and then offered to marry me. Due to all the offers I currently have, I was reluctant, but eventually said yes. And in turn, I got Torrent, so it was well worth it. Shortly after, I found the Beastman of Farum Azula, and wow, this guy was easy. He had one pretty cool attack sequence, but if you just walk back, he looked like a schizophrenic rat swinging at ghosts. I dealt with him pretty easily. Next up was the Stormfoot Catacombs, my first real dungeon. After nearly getting my balls burned off, I found a lever that opens the door to the boss, then immediately died. And let me tell you, the boss of this dungeon was a bit weird. It moved erratically, with fast, unpredictable attacks. I was also getting greedy, and because of my low health, I was punished. My winning attempt was a close fight. I had no heals left and a half bar of health, but I came out on top. I decided to clear the night camp we found earlier, and oh my god, was this guy strong. You're just an regular enemy, dude. You don't need to be doing all that. Anyways, we did beat him and picked up the whetstone knife, which allows us to change the abilities on our weapons. Pretty nice, huh? From there I fought this dumbass that got his head stuck in a pumpkin, which was a very easy fight, probably because he was blind. And I found a sorceress, selling some spells. I was too broke to buy any, but they looked cool nonetheless. Entering this Everjail, I didn't really know what to expect. Maybe some loot? Maidens, perhaps? But I should have known it was just gonna be a boss. This boss had a pretty cool moveset and could disappear and reappear, but didn't give me too much of a hard time. Unlike the next boss. I entered the Impaler's Catacombs unaware that I was about to be impaled in the ass. This boss really pissed me off. It didn't even feel challenging. It was more like, what's that feeling when your balls are itching public? Oh yeah, fucking annoying. And it wasn't even the main boss that was the problem, it was the imps. The goddamn imps. You have to deal with them first or you get ganged up on while trying to fight the boss. But taking them down first usually wasted most of your flasks. I kept going at it for a while, getting more and more infuriated with each attempt, until I finally took this motherfucker down.
Oh my god, that boss was actually terrible.
While traveling through the Weeping Peninsula, I came upon a demi-human queen, a boss that attacks with the full force of her child support system. After getting rid of the brats, I made quick work of her. I found another Everjail housing an ancient hero of Zamor, and this guy was fun. He would twirl around almost as if dancing, and was able to chain attacks, but they were readable. If you got too far, he would use a ranged ice attack that you would have to move to the side to avoid, and if he was close enough when using this attack, you could punish him and get some good damage in. During phase 2, he would infuse a weapon with ice, allowing him to deal more damage and cause frost buildup. This boss also wasn't a pushover, but didn't rely on gimmicks to attain its difficulty. This is very refreshing after the gank slop that was the Erdtree Watchdog. And it dropped Radagon's Scar Seal, which basically just gives you 12 levels for free, which is amazing. And then we find ourselves fighting the easiest boss in the game. I don't even know what to say because I finished the fight in like 10 seconds. After falling victim to a transport trap, I was teleported to the most beautiful place I've seen in the game so far, Leyndell, the royal capital. And considering how close it was to the Erdtree, it was probably an endgame location, which would explain why the next boss had so much health. After getting bodied a few times, I found that it has a weak spot. If you hit its legs enough, it would collapse, allowing you to hit it for massive damage. After a few cycles of this and some close calls, I managed to defeat this giant. Moving on, I decided to go towards one of the many minor Erdtrees scattered throughout the lands. I didn't know what to expect, but when in doubt, assume it's a boss. This thing had a pretty fun moveset to playing around, having a lot of reach to punish healing. It did take quite a bit of damage though, so I was able to beat it within a couple tries. After fast traveling to a site of grace, I met Mom Rena, who gave me a spirit summon bell that I'm not going to use this playthrough. I want the authentic experience in every boss. By this point in time, I thought I was better at the game, so I wanted to give another shot to Tree Sentinel that absolutely humiliated me at the beginning of the game. It wasn't an easy fight by any means, but this time I impressed all the maidens. And that's when I ran into my biggest nightmare. What I initially thought would be a cool dragon fight quickly showed its true self. This boss was a giant pussy, constantly trying to avoid direct confrontation, which when possible would be messed up by the camera. And even worse, once it had distance on you, this piece of shit would breathe fire on you for hours, which was basically an instant death half the time. Sure, you could jump on your horse, but timing it for when it breathed fire was very difficult, because you would essentially have to predict if the dragon was going to lunge at you or use his fire attack. And if he lunged at you, Torrent is useless, you would just get hit. I gave this boss many attempts, but in the end, I gave up. I hate to say it. I couldn't stand this boss. After getting my balls melted off by the dragon, the Stone Digger Troll was a nice ego booster. Although he dealt some solid damage when he hit me, I dealt solid-er damage to him. I was riding along until Torrent decided to dip out. I didn't know what was going on until a man named Nigerius with a crazy kink invaded me. I thought that shit was weird, so I got rid of him pretty quickly. I then met a badass samurai named Yura, who warned me about a dragon in the nearby lake. Go figure. I then proceeded to fight my sleep paralysis demon, which wasn't too difficult. I heard somebody was messing with my boy Bach, so you know what I had to do. I annihilated these demi-human chiefs and got Bach's song needle back for him. Oh boy. I didn't know this yet, but this would be the first genuinely challenging boss I would come across. He didn't have any allies, he didn't do any fire breathing, flying bullshit. It was just a genuine wall that I had to get past. And what really sucked about that is I couldn't make any excuses when I died. It was actually my fault, for once. I went at it, attempt by attempt, slowly chipping more and more of his health away, slowly learning more and more of his moveset, until this.
Let's fucking go.
Despite this boss taking so long, it was my favorite up until that point. It wasn't a freebie like many other ones I'd come across, but it also didn't have any cheap gimmicks. It was just pure skill. And this is the moment I fell in love with Elden Ring. While traveling, I came upon Alexander, a jar man that was stuck and needed to be hit in the back by something nice and big. No, I'm not joking. Unfortunately, I didn't want to whip it out, as it's so large every enemy in the lands between would hunt me down out of jealousy, so I just gave him a smack with my sword. I met a man named D, yes, like the penis, and he told me to steer clear of the nearby village. Like any stupid person would, I ignored his advice and found a Tibia Mariner, which was a pretty easy fight. I then fought this rune bear who, although looked intimidating, had pretty easy hitboxes to avoid. I mean, he would swing at you and if you're positioned in a certain way, most ways honestly, he would just whiff, so it didn't take me long to defeat him. And don't get me started on the Mist Begotten. This was literally a normal enemy with a boss health bar. While exploring a cave, I came across a chest in a boss arena. I was almost certain it was a trap, and sure enough, I was right. But what I was not expecting was just a normal dude named Patches to be the boss. After getting him to half health, he surrendered, and me being the nice person I am, let him live. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of him later. I then proceeded to fight the Grave Duelist, which looked badass as hell. Unfortunately, by this point in the video, I think I was a bit over leveled for the area, and I dealt with him swiftly. Soon after, I found an enemy similar to the one we found in Lane Dell, except this one had way less health and did way less damage. Basically, way easier. Just look at this insane critical hit I dealt. Obviously, there were no problems with this one. I then fought a Knight's Cavalry, which was one of the longer fights I've had in a while. This is mainly due to the boss moving around so much on his horse. The boss is a solid challenge, but after a few attempts, I got him. As I was exploring Stormhill, a demon bird spawned in trying to fight me. The camera was going absolutely haywire on this one, but I still managed to give the ugly bastard a swift kick in the ass. I then met Blythe, the coolest furry I have ever seen, and proceeded to Castle Morn at the base of Weeping Peninsula, and it was pretty cool. I decided to single-handedly end the slave uprising that was occurring, like any good Samaritan would do. While traversing the castle walls, I met Godric's little bitch. Despite Castle Morn being in ruin, he wouldn't leave to save his daughter that is in imminent danger. I should have killed him right then and there, but I left a couple slaves alive that would do him in far more painfully. At the end of the castle was a Misbegotten, much stronger than the one we faced earlier. This boss had a fast, agile moveset and made for a very fun fight. After a few tries, we beat him and got a pretty cool sword out of it. I found an elevator in the Mistwood that took what felt like forever and shot you straight to hell. Except the place this elevator takes you is almost, if not more beautiful than Lane Dell. After getting off, my dumbass didn't see the site of grace and would live to regret it. While looting, I fell off a ledge and had to wait for the elevator to come up, and then wait for it to go down. This time, I made sure to get the site of grace. After finding an even more stunning part of this underground atmosphere, I realized I had to light torches around the area in order to summon a boss. The difficult part about this is that the area was home to the best archers ever, and they all wanted to barrage your ass with arrows while you look for the torches. While looking for the remaining torches, I found a boss. And I don't know if I was underleveled or something, but this guy dealt insane damage to me and took very little. His moveset for the most part was very predictable, so I was able to get some solid attempts on him. The winning attempt though was in my eyes nearly perfect. I only got hit once in the beginning, and then once in the end when I was getting a bit greedy. I don't know, maybe it was a fluke, but I think I'm getting better at learning these bosses. After lighting the last torch, I proceeded to fight the deer. The fight had a beautiful somber tune behind it, and the fight was very easy for what seemed like a pretty major boss, which was a bit odd. The attacks were almost intentionally very readable, and it took a good bit of damage on hits. After the fight, I couldn't help but think, we might be the bad guy here. We just invaded some underground community, brought their sacred animal back to life, just to kill it again. This is probably the moment you've all been waiting for, and you were right to, because I got my ass kicked.
Put these foolish ambitions to rest.
These words would haunt me for hours. If the Crucible Knight was a wall, Margate was a goddamn, I don't know, something really hard to get past. I spent hours on this boss. He killed me countless times. Hell, sometimes I would end up getting myself killed. Over time, I started getting to a second phase more and more consistently. I was able to actually understand some of his movements. It was slow, but I was able to improve. All the time, all the deaths, all the close attempts, I was in too deep to give up now, and it all came down to this try. I had finally done it. After hours of attempts, I had overcome my biggest challenge so far. My hands literally still shaking. With that out of the way, we can move towards Stormvale Castle. This place was riddled with traps, that I fell into of course. But one I wasn't expecting was when I walked into this room and the door locked behind me. I was stuck in here with a pretty difficult enemy. Thankfully, the Uchigatana stun locks pretty well, so I beat him. As I progressed through the castle, I found a secret area, and there was a Crucible Knight. The enemy that I overcame was my first big challenge. I guess this is the time to see if I actually got better. While it wasn't a clean fight, I did beat him in one attempt, so I'll take it as a win. I then fought this lion with rabies. I was able to avoid being infected and put it out of its misery. While exploring, guess who I found? The same ugly ass spider that shit on me in the beginning of the game. And I think it's about time for a rematch. With my new skills and more powerful weapons, I dicked this thing down in seconds. Now it was time for the main boss of Stormvale Castle, the final boss in Limgrave. And I'm telling you now, the first attempt did not go so well. Here I was, no heals, Godric with half his health remaining, and this guy took an intermission to fist a goddamn dragon. I mean, the dragon must have liked it, because it was breathing fire on me the next second, but I didn't like it. I think the moral of the story is, I was the one who truly getting fisted here. I gotta say though, after Margit, Godric was a cakewalk. His attacks were all very telegraphed, and he had a lot more windows to take damage than Margit. I did like the boss though. All his moves felt like they had a lot of impact. After defeating Godric, we've officially conquered Limgrave. Wait. Am I forgetting something? Oh yeah, we had to go back and absolutely shit on the dragon real quick. For all the pain and suffering this thing caused me in the past, I absolutely brutalized it. And oh my god, did it feel good when this piece of shit went down. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as this took a lot of work. Oh, and stay tuned for Leonarnia.